Hello, my friends. I'm about to have a happy time with my happy planner and most essential ingredient, mushroom coffee in my witchy mug. Is that awesome or what? So stay tuned and watch me decorate for the week. Okay, first things first, let's get the unpleasantries out of the way. This happy planner is brand new. I received it a few weeks ago, and it's got scratches and scuff marks and some weird stuff right here I have not been able to get off. It feels sticky, but it won't come off, even with glue gone. So I don't know what this is. And the back is, it's got all these fine scratches all over it that here's some, that my camera can't really pick up on. But it looks like it's been through the wars, and it was brand new. Actually, pretty disappointed in my first online purchase direct from the company. I usually go to Michael's and buy them, but since the pandemic and with my immune system, I have to be extra careful going out in public now. So if I can get it online now, I get it online. And I did that for this, and I won't be doing that again. Now that that's out of the way, let's see what I do for the week of August, whatever the date is today. I'll put it on the screen. Now, what I've done, first of all, I'm in the big one. I was using the classic size and decided to graduate just because I like to write a lot. Sometimes I do a little bit of journaling in the boxes, so I just want a little bit of extra room. Now this is skipping through to August. I didn't do July because I didn't receive the planner until July the 30th. So, but that's no big deal. I can use those pages for something else. You will see a little shadow here. That's from my camera's tripod. There's nothing I can do about that right now, but I'm gonna figure out a way to fix that for subsequent videos. So here's how I set up the monthly. No big deal. There was the week-long summer creative retreat hosted by Peggy Dean of the Pigeon Letters. So I noted that, and I attended pretty much every day, caught up on the replays I wanted to see, and it was a whole lot of fun, and I learned some things. If you've never heard of the Summer Creative Retreat, you can follow her over on Instagram, and Peggy holds it once a year in August, and it's just a whole lot of fun, and the whole week is free. So, and you get interesting freebies with the classes that you can download for free. So it's really awesome. So I've got that in here. I've got marked the start of school. And pretty much this week I kind of left empty because I wasn't feeling really too good that week. So I didn't have much, if anything, planned. And now I'm going to focus on the 18th. Here's the week of the 4th and of the 11th. And now here's the 18th. And all I did was put a couple of stickers down just to kind of get my juices flowing. And then, oh dear, did these things, yeah, this sticker has been through the wars, but I'm going to use it anyway. What I do is I save my sticker backing sheets, and I use them to house stickers I'm going to use in a project. So instead of having piles and piles of sticker books out here, there, and everywhere, I go through them ahead of time. I decide on a color scheme and a theme. And then I go through my books and I pull out the stickers I think will fit in well with that color scheme and the theme, and I put them on empty backing sheets. This one here comes straight out of a boho style sticker book from Recollections, which is sold here in America at the craft store Michael's. But everything else I pulled out of the Happy Planner sticker books. So then I'm just going to go through and see what I want to use and where I want to put it. So the first thing I do is I like to set out my boxes. Now, I tend to really need more organization in my mornings than at any other time of the day. So that's typically where I will put my empty boxes, just so I can keep track of things. And I also like to keep track of priorities in the morning. So I will take long strips that have like a bullet point on them, and I'll use these to outline my priorities. And so I'll just stick them in the box. Go through and do that very first thing. I tend daily to have 3 to 4 priorities, things I have to get done sometime that day, not necessarily in the morning. This little bit came from a appointment sticker I had stuck here that I had to move to the following week. Good news, I go see a chiropractor. I've been going every week for a chronic shoulder injury I have had for 24 years. Yeah, you heard that right. 24-year chronic shoulder injury that 2 other chiropractors, 4 rounds of PT, and 2 orthopedists and a back doctor, spinal specialist, could not help me with. This chiropractor, his office is right down the main street from my home, and he's been there the entire time, the entire 21 years, is it 21 or maybe 22 years we've owned our house. I never paid his office any heed, and turns out he was the only doctor who was ever able to help me. Isn't that something? And he's been literally in my front yard this whole time. So I just graduated. Instead of going once a week, I am now going once every 2 weeks. It took a year of adjustments to get to that point. So I am really proud of myself. So that's why this little sticker residue is here, because I had to move that appointment sticker to next Wednesday at 10:30. I'm just gonna put these side by side since I stuck this deco here earlier. Okay, I'm not using these meeting stickers at all. I don't have anything set for this week. Oh, one of my little bullets that I might use for something, might not, popped off. There we go. I don't have any meetings scheduled or appointments this week, so I won't be using these, but eventually these will be gone, and this will be another fully empty backing sheet. Now what I tend to do is I tend to spread the deco around, and I do it in such a way where I'm not putting it in the box. I tend to put them sometimes in the box, but I really prefer to put them in between the boxes. That way, you know, because subconsciously I look at this vertical, what do you call it? Okay, sorry, I am having a senior moment. Give me a second. Vertical layout, there we go. I tend to subconsciously look at this vertical layout as morning, afternoon, evening. So I am still perhaps having to schedule things in the afternoon, so I don't like to put the deco in a single square, because then I won't be able to use this square on Tuesday, or perhaps not use it on Monday, depending on where I decide to put the deco. So I put it in between, and that still gives me plenty of room to write. And let's see, what does this one say? Would help if I turned it right side up. It says, let your dreams blossom. And this one says, the world needs more of what you have. It's real pale, it's white lettering against a kind of a peachy pink color. It's kind of difficult to read, but that's what it says. This one, let your dreams blossom. That's good for a sticker that's mainly in the evening time, don't you think? And I have other boxes here that I know I'm going to need in the morning, and I have a couple over here. So, well, let me see here. Definitely will need a box for Monday, because that is usually the morning I try to get most of my stuff done. course, it's a little crooked. I don't let that bother me. I don't try to peel it off the page and straighten it out because, you know, other than whoever watches this video, I'm the only one seeing this. So it doesn't bother me. Okay, here we go. And this box has room for some sort of a title. Oh, I'm gonna put this on Wednesday. Wednesdays are when I tend to film for YouTube. I actually have 3 channels. I have this one, The Positive Vibes Artist, which is for my art and my journaling. I have another one called Magical Musings. Magical, I spell it with a CK to differentiate it from stage magic. That's for my business, my bread and butter business, which I am a professional tarot reader, visionary artist, and I am a practitioner of positive witchcraft. And I have clients literally all around the planet. I've been in business since, oh, that's not a box, but it's a frame. I can still use it like a box. I've been in business since 1995. And yeah, so that's what Magical Musings is. And then my 3rd channel, that is basically just a little hobby channel. I can never get these things to look straight, these skinny frames, is called True Tales of the Paranormal. And that's because I'm basically what my friends call a paranormal magnet. I've had, that's the closest it's gonna get. I've had so many weird things happen to me in my life. I mean, it's crazy. And actually, it's to the point where if my friends are with me, you know, they're a lot of the times something weird happens and they're with me and they're like, oh my God. So that tends to open people's eyes. And so that's my 3rd channel, and I will link to all of them below in the description. Well, my friends, I think I have fixed the problem. All I did was move from that side of the table to the end of the table, or the head of the table, and I've gotten rid of that annoying shadow from my tripod. So now I shall continue decorating for the week of August the 18th. Now, like I said, I went through my Happy Planner and some other sticker books, and I am just, you know, using the blank, what do you call it, sticker backing paper. Now, this particular sticker has been through the wars. It has popped off a number of times, and it got stuck to other things. But I wanted to use it just basically along the edge of the notes section, like right here. It says all for love and love for all. And, well, great, there's something stuck to it. It's a little crumb. All right, there we go. I think I got it all off. Yes. And if it remains stuck to this paper, that will be really impressive. So there we go. There is that. I will zoom in when I'm done so you can see everything. I'm going to actually zoom in a little bit more right now, so you can see what I'm doing, and push my planner up a little bit. Just let me grab my other stickers from up here. I also have this little card I'm gonna want to stick in somewhere along here. That'll be for later. This is all deco. I'm looking around, okay, for boxes, because I like to get my boxes in here first, and then I add the deco after the boxes. Because, you know, with the boxes, I might write information in there. I might put in little positive reminders for myself. And so I I do the boxes first, and then I'll add little sticker embellishments around them. Here's the weekend. Actually, I think I'm gonna do it sideways. Is it straight? Not really. If you catch it right away, you can get the stickers to peel right back up. But then they get curvy. Oh my goodness. I'm having a hard time because my hand is really bothering me today. I did go this morning to urgent care. Oh my goodness, it's been a real hassle. And they told me it's severe tendonitis, and they also said, don't use your phone so much. Yeah, easier said than done. Okay, this is just really getting on my nerves. I'm gonna have to take it off, even though it's really hurting because the nurse practitioner at urgent care was pressing on my wrist and everything, but it's just too hard to do this fine, you know, type of work. And there we go. That's good enough. And then I have a positive reminder here, sparkle and shine. Even though I'm hurting, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sparkle and I am going to shine. Let's just put it right here. There we go. And then I think this is my last box. Let me double check. Oh, I've got a couple of arrow boxes here and a solid colored box. And I just tend in these boxes to write down things I'm prioritizing. I think I'll put it right up here at the top. All right, I'm just trying to figure out where I'm gonna put this one. This one says vibing and thriving. I'm not exactly vibing or thriving right now, but it is an important reminder to do so. No matter how much you may be hurting or, you know, upset about something or what have you, we always need to, you know, focus on putting our best foot forward. And remember, too, you're an example for everyone in your life. And my mom used to say, always strive to be the best example you can. And she had a very hard life. She was born with spina bifida. That is basically a hole in your spinal column, and it's a birth defect, and it's most commonly caused by women who don't get enough vitamin C during their pregnancy. It can also be caused by certain medications. My husband has got a cousin whose daughter has spina bifida, and his cousin was on Zoloft throughout her whole pregnancy and was told it would be fine. Well, it was not, unfortunately. And that poor little girl is far worse off than my mom ever was. But my mom was born in 1925. So, you know, medical care was not what it is today. And also in school and, you know, everywhere else, she never received any special treatment or accommodations or anything like that. And she was expected to, you know, get by just like everyone else. And she did. She graduated high school only a year late, and that was because she had to have several surgeries on her spine. She had 5 spinal surgeries, all done by Shriners Hospital in Chicago, which is a wonderful, wonderful institution. They helped my mom for free because my grandpa did not have the money for her medical care. And my grandmother abandoned my mother and grandfather when my mom was only 3 years old. So the only memory my mom has of her own mother was of her mother giving her a bag of Hershey's chocolate kisses the day she left the family. Yeah, really sad. And my mom and grandpa were homeless during the Great Depression and totally depended upon the kindness of family, friends, acquaintances, and even some strangers, and would sleep on couches and on floors wherever they were allowed. Yeah, so she had a really rough life, but it never really, it didn't ruin her outlook. You know what I'm saying? She was always, pragmatic. She was always also fairly positive. And she ended up, despite being emotionally and physically abused by my grandpa growing up, she was the best mom, just the best. She was always very loving, supportive, and kind to me. And I didn't even know that my grandpa was abusive to her until after he died. She did not want to taint my relationship with him. That is the sign of an outstanding person, in my opinion. So now we go to the deco. And I don't mean for this video to be a downer, but, I get chatty and then I just talk about all sorts of stuff. I'm done with this one, so I'm going to set it aside. So, not everything is going to be all, happy and fun. I wish it were, but that's not life, as we all know. Let me know in the comments below what type of planner you're using. I've been using the Happy Planner for, I think, 5 years. And I never had any problems with it until now when I ordered direct from their site. This is the it's 2025, 2020. It's the 4th year I've ordered from them online, and I never had a problem with any of my orders until now. This cover just came with all sorts of scratches on it and a really weird blemish. Let me see if you can, I don't know. Wait a minute. There you go. You see that? It feels like something sticky. It feels like something I should be able to wipe off, and I can't get it off. I don't know what this is. And it came like that. And I did contact them. I hate doing that because I don't like dealing with, bothering people with stuff like this, because I'm like, everybody works hard for the products they sell and everything. But, we pay good money for those products, and they should come to us relatively unblemished. And when they don't, that kind of upsets me, So sue me, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I wrote them about 4 days ago. I have yet to hear back anything, so I don't know. But it is what it is, and I'm probably going to be looking for another planner company. I might not even finish in this planner just because, I'm not OCD or anything, but this just really bothers me. And these planners, if you don't manage to get them on National Planner Day, they're not cheap. And I had forgotten about National Planner Day and had ordered this planner like 2 weeks previous. If I waited just 2 weeks, I could have gotten it at 45% off. Oh well. I still got it on sale. I can't remember now how much off it was. I think it was 30%. It was a good price, I didn't feel ripped off or anything, but after seeing that cover, I am so not happy, but it is what it is. So I'm just using it as best I can. Just try not to think about the cover. Oh, look, this came off together. They're two separate stickers, but I think I'm just going to use them like this because it looks like a mama butterfly and her adopted baby moth daughter. And I'm just going to put them up here on Sunday in the corner. Just want to be sure I don't run over the edge. There we go. Oh, that looks cute. Okay, and I did take all these dots off of one of the Happy Planners sticker books, but I may not use them. I don't know. I was thinking of putting them on the boxes here, but I can't find my tweezers. You know how difficult it is to use something as tiny as that and not have any tweezers. Oh gosh, I just looked up at the Cubs game. They're losing. I cry. Okay, back to planning. I love these boho elephants. These are from a Recollections sticker book. Recollections is sold at Michael's craft stores. And I'm not even sure how long ago I bought this sticker book. It's really old. Oh man, I don't know. I know it was after the pandemic. You know, isn't that a shame? I mean, at least for me, it is a shame. I am now dividing time in terms of pre and post pandemic. How many of you are doing that? I'm curious. I can't be the only one doing that. I think it's really sad, but I just cannot help myself. And now we come to the point in the week layout where I look back at it and say to myself, do I add any more deco and risk making this completely non-functional, or do I leave it as is? You know, and I don't have too much more to add than I wanted to use. Not really. Let's see, because this is going to pop in and out, and that's just going to track my sleep, water intake, whether or not I stay within calories for the day, and there were a couple of other things I wanted to track. Art time in terms of creating new art for stickers that I create. And I also need to figure out how to set up a Ko-fi shop, because I'm thinking that's how I'm going to sell them, or I may do it through Buy Me a Coffee. But I think the Ko-fi one is the one that allows people to have a membership. But I need to look at the excuse me, the financial ins and outs of that, because Ko-fi might be a better deal for me as the creator, or Buy Me a Coffee. So I need to figure out how that's gonna work. Okay, this is gonna be evening down here. I want to use this feather. I just don't know. Will it cover this blemish? Pretty much. Let's just do it there. And then we'll put something else there. Something right here. There. Oh, sorry, I'm whispering. I tend to talk to myself when I'm creative, and I whisper, and so hopefully I don't do that too often on my channel. I don't do too much in my planner for the weekends, because basically I'm doing laundry and groceries and that sort of thing. So my weekends tend to remain pretty blank, so that's where I tend to go heavier on the deco portion of the stickers and all the embellishments I add. Whereas I try to keep earlier in the week, especially Monday through Wednesday, focused more on the functional aspect, because this is when I tend to do most of my work. I tend to film my videos on Mondays or Wednesdays. I edit them on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I have 3 channels because I'm insane. Yes, 3 channels. You heard me correctly. 3 YouTube channels, none of which are doing overly well. I had one doing really great. And oddly enough, it was my baby channel. It's only a year old. And I started it just as a hobby because I'm into the paranormal, and I've had a lot of weird stuff happen to me all throughout my life. Weird, unexplainable, a lot of it fairly creepy. And I thought, that my daughter might want those stories, for future reference or posterity's sake, or just be able to see her crazy mom on YouTube when, after I'm gone. It's something I really wish I had with my own mom. She passed in 2008, and then my dad followed her 18 months later in 2009. So I don't have, I have some video of my dad from an old phone of mine. I don't have any of my mom because my mom really hated to have her picture taken and stuff. So do you think she wanted to be in a video? Oh, hell no. So I do have her on cassette though. But so it's hard. It's very hard when we miss our loved ones, but I know they're watching over me and my daughter. But yeah, so I started that channel just basically for my kiddo, and who is about to turn 28 in a few weeks. Hard to believe. And it's doing really, the channel was doing great. I was up to I was just over 800 subscribers within a year. And I was 290 watch hours away from being monetized for memberships and super chats. And then I had problems with my eyes. I had to have cataract surgery. My eye pressures were totally the frick out of control. There was a fear I could go instantly blind from ocular hypertension, glaucoma, out of control high eye pressures because of the cataracts. They were just creating too much pressure inside my eyeballs. So they had to be removed early because when they were first diagnosed, the doctor was like, oh yeah, you've got cataracts, but we're going to have to wait about 4 or 5 years. They have to get to a certain size to where it's easier to, remove them. I'm like, okay. And then I started getting all these headaches and literally eye pain. It was really weird. And it would make me feel nauseated and motion sick. And I finally went back to the ophthalmologist thinking, could it possibly be my eyes? And I didn't know. And, it's going to cover that sticker. I'll put it up here. And went in, and they were like, oh my God, your pressures are 45. And I don't even remember what the other one was, but they were all scared, and it scared the crap out of me, of course. And so I had to go in and get the right eye done in November of 2024 and the left eye done in December. And my pressures went right down to well within normal. Went from the 40s, the low 40s, high 40s, or low 50s, I forget now, all the way down to the mid-teens. Yes. However, the saga continues because they did not get all of the cataract out of my eyes because, again, they were really young cataracts that shouldn't have been removed for another, 4 years or so. And so now I see worse than I did before. But at least I'm not having the headaches and the nausea and the motion sickness and all that, which is a huge blessing because, holy Toledo, it was bad. It was really bad. I didn't have much of a life for a year. That went on for a year. And every time you move, you feel kind of nauseated. That's no fun. So that's all over with. And now I've got to go in for a procedure, laser surgery. It's called the YAG procedure, Y-A-G. And it's, like I said, it's done with lasers. And they basically zap your eyeball repeatedly with a laser to burn off the regrowth of your natural lens in your eye. Because when you have cataracts removed, they have to take out the lens in your eye. And so they replace it with an artificial lens. And like my eyesight tremendously improved after that. I was really nearsighted, and I can now do reading and all my artwork without wearing any glasses. And a lot of times, that's what I do. I will just take off my glasses and I can see, like this right here, I could take off my glasses now and it still looks the same to me as when I have my glasses on. There's no different, even the writing on here. I can still read all that. But I need them for distance still. And when prior to my surgery, they asked me, do you want us to prioritize your near sight or your distance? And I chose near because I'm an artist. And I thought, wouldn't it be great to be able to do my artwork without wearing glasses? And now I can. And speaking of which, I am designing some witchy stickers, and I hope to have those released before October in time for a spooky season. So, yeah. So I'm doing those, and it just feels so good to be getting back to that because my eyes were just messing with me so much. Life was no fun for a long time. So hopefully once I have the YAG procedure done, that will remove the glare I'm seeing. Because what happens is when your cataract is removed and they don't get all the cataract out, because in my case, they were too young for surgery in the first place, but they had to do it. It was an emergency situation. Your original lens you were born with starts to regenerate. I mean, it goes to show you what a marvelous invention by God the eyeball really is. Just a most marvelous, miraculous creation. That lens will start to grow back. But unfortunately, you have your artificial lens in the eyeball, and so your original lens grows on top of the artificial one. And it creates a lot of glare in your range of vision. So when I look at any source of light, I see glare. And that's why I have to go in for the YAG. I can't drive at night because the headlights, it looks like giant stars. I mean, that blot out the whole car that's behind those headlights to where I can't even tell if there's other traffic behind that vehicle that I'm seeing. Yeah, it's really scary. I do not drive at night right now. I had to go help my daughter in an emergency a couple months ago, and oh man, I was gripping all the way there. That steering wheel is just, it was crazy. But I got there and back. So, I think I'm done. So, the only thing I did not use, was this notes sticker, which I think I'll just put right here to layer. That's all that goes here anyhow. And it does say note down here too. But and this little tag, I can stick that somewhere. I'll use this on something else. I usually use these little tags to draw attention to something. I am looking, and I think I'll put it over here on Wednesday, just because I know already that is a heavy work day for me with video production. And I do have this little strip here. I would like to use it somewhere. And I'm not going to use the dots because I've got these. for my priorities. And that's it. Nope, that's not it. Oh, do I have any scissors down here? Let me look. I am downstairs at the table in the breakfast nook. My studio is upstairs. And so I have this big old catch-all bag here. You know, and I put my planners and journals here, my sticker books, and then all of my little pens and whatnots in the side pockets. And I'm pretty sure I do have a pair of scissors in here somewhere. So I can cut this little strip down to size. I love this bag. I got this bag, man, I want to say it was like 20 years ago. And I ordered it somewhere online. And no, I don't have scissors. Oh no. Well, okay, hang on. Let's see. There. Hey, that worked. Okay, there we go. I am now all done. This is the week of the 18th. Let me zoom in so you can see everything. And here we go. Monday the 18th, Tuesday the 19th, Wednesday the 20th. So again, the way I use the boxes, this is morning, afternoon, evening, and I tend to be deco heavy in the evenings and on the weekends because I don't really, schedule a lot at those times. And then we have Thursday and Friday, the 21st and the 22nd, and then Saturday and Sunday. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this planner video. I really appreciate you all, and a special welcome to my new subscribers and deep gratitude for my old subscribers. And I'll be back with more and more content. Thanks a lot for watching. This is Nefer Kefri, the Positive Vibes Artist. I wish you a blessed day ahead.